Some of you don't know this about me yet, but I'm a professional singer. I've sang for thousands of people, sang for NBA games, MLB. I've even sang at the Vatican and Carnegie Hall, countless weddings and funerals. But here is the wildest thing. I was able to use my voice for all those events, but I never used my voice to speak up for myself. Growing up, I was the good daughter, the performer. I'm a professional singer, but my voice never felt like it was my own. So if you've ever felt that split, like you can be confident in some spaces, but completely silenced in others, I made this video specifically for you. Because today, I'm going to walk you through the exact 4 phase framework that helped me break my silence, heal my emotional root of people pleasing, and finally reclaim my sacred voice. This is the same method I use to help daughters of immigrants and women of color speak up, show up, and step into their leadership. If it's your first video, I'm Tracy, a vocal alchemist and spiritual mentor. I help spiritual women reclaim their voice and rewrite their story. Before we get into it, I want to give more examples because I honor that everyone's journey is different. Here's what was true for me, and maybe it's true for you too. So, throughout my life, I had a deep fear of disappointing my family, especially my mom. I said yes when I wanted to say no, and I smiled when I was crying inside. And even though I got paid to use my voice, I still struggled to say what I really wanted. I realize now that I didn't have a speaking problem. I had a voice wound. And if you don't know what that is, I made a whole video about it. You can catch it here after this video. I learned that my voice wound didn't start with me. It was ancestral, cultural, because by staying silent, I thought it was the only way I would stay safe and feel loved. It took me years of unlearning to create what I now call my sacred voice legacy method. This is my 4 phase framework based on vocal alchemy, nervous system healing, and spiritual reconnection. I see it as the bridge between processing and healing your trauma so you can alchemize it and turn it into your own personal power. So if you want to learn about the Sacred Voice Legacy Method, hit the like button and let's get into it. So phase 1 is remember, where you remember the truth of who you are and awaken your sacred voice. This is where we explore your voice wound and how generational silence, cultural shame, or being the good daughter taught you how to shut down and stay silent. We don't focus on the pain. We honor your survival patterns like people pleasing, perfectionism, or staying quiet to avoid conflict. Because, yeah, they kept you safe at one time, but they're not needed anymore. Maybe you've been told you're too sensitive or too much. So you learned to tone yourself down. Because now, even in your personal healing journey, you're afraid to still take up space. In this phase, I help you remember that your sensitivity is your superpower. You begin to reconnect with who you were before society's conditioning and programming got to you. Phase 2 is release, where we release the blocks and the fears that silence you. This is where we stop letting the mind do all the work and start reconnecting with your physical body. We use sound, breath, and body based practices to show your nervous system, hey, your voice is safe now. And this is also where vocal alchemy comes in: the humming, the toning, the breath work, and my own sacred sound rituals. In this phase, you start to move stuck energy like fear, shame, rage, not just by talking about it, but by releasing it through your own sound. Maybe you want to speak up in meetings or set boundaries with a family member, but your throat tightens or your mind just goes blank every time you try. This phase is where we detangle the trauma that's wired to your voice. We're basically gonna rewire it so your voice feels safe and you can trust yourself again. Okay, so phase three is the reclaim phase, where you own your story, where you reclaim your voice as your power. And in this phase, you start to realize that your voice is safe to use again. And you start reclaiming what's yours, your truth, your joy, your intuition, your story. You stop apologizing, you stop second guessing yourself, and you start trusting what you know. Maybe in the past, you've stayed quiet in your family because you don't want to draw attention to yourself. But now you are ready to speak your truth, even if your voice shakes, because you are not here to repeat your pattern, your family's pattern. You are here to break it. And the final phase, phase four, is radiate, where you radiate your sacred voice and lead from your power. This is where your voice becomes your legacy. You're not just healing for yourself anymore. You're changing your lineage, your family, your community. You stop looking for permission and you start embodying the woman who knows who she is, who trusts her voice and leads with her soul. You're no longer trying to just get it right. You're finally channeling your truth and letting your sacred voice create your legacy. So, my sacred voice legacy method is for women who think, I've done the inner work, but I still feel disconnected from my voice. I didn't get here through strategy or trying to fix myself. I got here by finally taking myself seriously, where I could not keep living the life I had, where my days would pass by and I'd think, okay, I'm just here. I don't have control over anything. This is just how it is. I got to where I am today by surrendering to the deeper healing, by working with sound, spirit, and my body to uncover the voice that was always inside of me. And now I teach other women how to do the same. You don't have to keep fighting your voice. You can come home to it and reclaim it. If you want to reclaim your voice and radiate your unique power out into the world, right? I reclaim my voice in the comments. Because now you know how the Sacred Voice Legacy method has changed my life. If you're interested in having your own voice reclamation transformation, watch my next video. I'm going to talk about how you can apply my method to your own life so you can put an end to your people pleasing patterns and call in those healthy relationships. All right, with love and sacred resonance, I'll see you there.